Up. She's not dead. The cry tore through the solemn silence like thunder ripping open the sky. Hundreds of mourners froze mid-breath, their polished shoes sinking slightly into the wet grass. The pastor dropped his Bible. Even the birds seemed to stop singing. The crowd of black suits and dark glasses turned as one toward the source of the voice, a disheveled black man in a torn coat, his face streaked with rain and tears. He pushed through the elite of the city, bankers, politicians, and media giants, like a storm that couldn't be stopped. "Security!" shouted William Sterling, his face twisting in rage. "Get this madman out of here immediately." But the man kept walking, eyes blazing with something more powerful than anger, certainty. "My name is David Washington," he said, his voice echoing across the marble graves. "And I saw you two planning this last night in the hospital parking lot." The murmurs started instantly. Reporters raised their phones. The Sterling family doctor, Dr. Peterson, went pale as chalk. David pointed at the open coffin. Inside lay Victoria Sterling, the billionaire real estate queen who owned half the coast. Her face was serene, her lips faintly pink. She looked asleep. "She was poisoned with a substance that simulates death," David continued, voice shaking but strong. "She's alive. And you want to bury her before anyone finds out." The crowd erupted. Cameras rolled. Gasps spread like wildfire. William barked, "You're insane. She died of natural causes." David's reply was calm, cutting. "Then why are you sweating, William? And why can't Dr. Peterson look me in the eye?" Every head turned. The doctor trembled visibly. David opened his worn backpack and held up a small glass vial. "This is the antidote to the poison you gave her. Tetrodotoxin. It paralyzes, slows the heartbeat, and mimics death. But it wears off in 20 hours. Unless you bury her first." The crowd fell completely silent. William tried to shout again, but his voice faltered. David looked at the coffin, his eyes softening. "Please," he said to Mrs. Henderson, Victoria's aunt, standing near the casket, "let me prove she's alive." "Wait," she said, raising a trembling hand. "If there's even the slightest chance." Security stopped. David stepped closer to the coffin, placing a hand over Victoria's chest. His voice broke. "You're not gone, Victoria. Not yet. Loudspeaker if this story of betrayal, courage, and truth has already pulled you in. Hit that subscribe button and join Story Cabins, where every story proves that no lie can stay buried forever." William Sterling's mask cracked. His voice turned sharp, desperate. "You liar. You're a criminal, a homeless vagrant." David's gaze hardened. 3 years ago, I was your lead software engineer. I discovered your embezzlement. Millions stolen from Victoria's company. You framed me, ruined me, left me on the streets. But you forgot one thing, William. I built your systems. I know every secret you've ever hidden. The crowd gasped. Reporters moved closer, recording every word. William sneered. "No one will believe a man like you." David took out an old phone. "Then maybe they'll believe this." He pressed play. William's voice echoed across the cemetery. "The dose you gave her will last exactly 18 hours. After that, she'll wake up and we'll be screwed." The reaction was explosive. People screamed. Cameras zoomed in. Dr. Peterson collapsed onto a nearby chair, his face gray with terror. "I told you she wasn't dead," David said softly. Suddenly, a calm female voice cut through the chaos. "Dr. Peterson." From the crowd stepped a woman with silver hair and a leather briefcase. Dr. Jennifer Hayes, former FBI toxicologist. "We've been expecting you to slip," she said, "because we've been investigating you for 3 months." William froze. "This is insane." Dr. Hayes ignored him, opening her briefcase to reveal a recorder. "I met you both at charity events. I confirmed your purchase of tetrodotoxin online. And now, Mr. Sterling, I have enough evidence to end this right here." David smiled faintly. "Justice takes time, but it never forgets." The crowd was electrified. Every word felt like a verdict. William tried one last defense. Even if your lies were true, she's dead. David raised the vial. Then let's see if you're right. David knelt beside the coffin. The world seemed to hold its breath. 3 drops of antidote fell onto Victoria's lips. The crowd was so silent, the sound of the drops was deafening. Please, Aunt Henderson whispered. Please work. Minutes passed. Nothing. Then twitch. A single, fragile movement in Victoria's fingers. Heartbeat detected, said Dr. Hayes, her voice trembling. She's alive. The crowd exploded into screams. Reporters wept. Cameras flashed. William backed away, his face a mask of horror. No, this isn't possible. David turned to him. Everything you built on lies ends today. He pulled out a tablet showing bank transfers, secret meetings, and stolen money trails. I built your firewalls, William. I also built your downfall. Moments later, police sirens wailed. 3 black SUVs roared into the cemetery. FBI agents surrounded the area. Special Agent Rodriguez stepped forward. William Sterling, you are under arrest for attempted murder, conspiracy, and fraud. Dr. Peterson, you're coming with us. Dr. Peterson fell to his knees, sobbing. He threatened me. I didn't want to. David's voice was cold, steady. There's always a choice. You made yours. As the handcuffs clicked shut, Victoria slowly opened her eyes. Her voice was faint but clear. David, you saved me. He smiled softly. No, Victoria. You saved yourself. I just reminded you how. 6 months later, the skyline gleamed brighter than ever. Sterling Enterprises, once a symbol of greed, now stood for redemption. Victoria, radiant in strength, looked out from her 47th floor window. On her desk, newspapers read, Billionaire reborn. Homeless man becomes company's new vice president. David entered, now wearing a crisp suit. The audit's complete. We found another $23 million William stole. Victoria laughed softly. $1 million for every year of our marriage. How poetic. Together, they rebuilt what corruption had tried to destroy, launching affordable housing programs, charity funds, and the David Washington Foundation for Social Justice, with $100 million dedicated to fighting corporate abuse. Months later, David stood at Harvard University, addressing thousands of graduates. 4 years I slept under bridges, he said. Society called me worthless. But when you lose everything, you discover what can't be taken. Your choice to do what's right. The audience rose in applause. That night, Victoria announced the foundation. David didn't just save my life, she said. He reminded us that true leadership isn't power, it's protection. 2 years later, they stood together again at a grave, William Sterling's. He died rich in regret, Victoria murmured. David nodded. He buried me once, but he forgot, seeds grow in the dark. They walked away side by side, not as savior and victim, but as 2 people who had rebuilt hope from ashes. Sparkles, if this story of justice, faith, and rebirth inspired you, subscribe to Story Cabins. Because here, every fall has a rise, and every buried truth finds the light.